So, F's in chat for all Lakers fans. Honestly, F's in chat for Lakers fans because it was, without question, the best start to the season Anthony Davis has ever had. The best start. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. AD's leading in the MVP race. Again, I don't know how AD is leading in the MVP race because of what Jokic is doing. Like, I'm sorry, Jokic is obviously right now, it's through 8 games. But if Jokic averages 30, 14, and 11 assists, it doesn't matter. They could win 45 games. Jokic is the MVP again. Jokic is by far the best player in the world. But still, AD has had the best start to a season he has had. Ever. And a lot of the time when he plays, the Lakers look good. Problem, he is suffering from a foot injury. So let's listen to the Shams fella talking about Anthony Davis.
He's the league's leading scorer. He sat out with a heel injury. So, Shams, what's the latest that you're hearing about his availability moving forward?
The Lakers are hopeful that Anthony Davis plays on Friday on ESPN against the 76ers. This is a nagging foot injury for him, heel injury that he's been dealing with since the end of last season, over the summer, played with it in the Olympics. And they're confident that there's nothing structurally wrong there, but something that he's going to have to manage pain tolerance-wise. And they're hopeful that 24, 48 hours off of that foot will help him going into tomorrow. JJ Redick said even last night that they expect Anthony Davis to try to give it a go on Friday, but this is someone who, even without him last night, you struggle.
And that is the NBA, what they value is a big problem with what's happening with Anthony Davis, because it is what looks to be a plantar fasciitis injury. And a lot of tall people, it's a foot issue. It looks to be just one of those type of injuries where he could be fine. He could be fine playing through it, but sometimes it's just going to be too sore. And I think there are going to be a lot of games this year where he's not on the injury report and he goes into the game with 5 minutes to go and be like, yeah, I'm not good today. Or I feel good today. And again, I'm someone that's had every freaking injury imaginable. Like I've tore both MCLs, touch wood, no ACL tear. I've torn my right Achilles. Ended up developing plantar fasciitis in both of my feet coming back from the Achilles tear because, well, obviously I didn't rehab. Maybe I reckon I didn't rehab it properly. Well, sorry, not in both my feet. Mostly in my left foot. But like, it is a pain. It is a pain, and especially when you are AD and you're someone that relies so much on athleticism, it can be very frustrating. Because I think in any game that matters, he's going to be able to play. Like, he's always going to be able to play through it. It's just, realistically, when it comes to playing through it, is it going to be worth it? Because he's not going to be able to do that every single game. He's not going to be able to do that every single 82 games a year. You're just not going to be able to play through that pain. And even if he physically can, if you want him to be ready for the playoffs, there's no point in expecting him and trying to play through that pain. But at the end of the day, we've got, like, the Lakers are going to have to deal with it without him. And I do think there's another problem when it comes to the NBA where it's so focused on stats. Because if you are the Lakers, you are better off. Like, AD could realistically play. Let's just say, hypothetically, he plays 60 games this year. He plays 60, he doesn't play 20. I don't think it'll be much worse for his feet for AD to play 80 games. Obviously, he might have missed more than 2 already. But play 50 of them in his full minutes and play 30 of them as like 15 to 20 minutes. Because even 15 to 20 minutes of AD can be the difference between winning or losing a game. The problem is that for AD's own stats, it would take a hit. You could see his stats will take a huge hit if half the games he's only playing 15 minutes because of an injury, even though that would help the team. And I think that's a big problem with the NBA. I think that's a big problem with load management because of the way contracts are, because everything is about how many stats you get in the box score. A player, like, for example, with a Kawhi, where people are like, oh, he needs to load manage, he can't play every game, or he should only play X amount of total games for the season. It's like, what if your body's better off with more regular workouts but less intense? And you're like, you know what? He's going to play 82 games, but he's playing 25 minutes a game. That's 100 times better for the team than playing 35 minutes a game but missing 30 games. But the problem is, in 25 minutes, you're only going to get a certain amount of stats, and then it's going to look bad in your career averages and all this crap, and no player will do that. I think that's one of the issues we're seeing now. Just in basketball. I think genuinely that's one of the issues we're seeing with basketball is like the stats taking precedent over everything else. Because I do feel like load management, as in missing games and like large periods of rest between games, has been proven to not do anything for injury prevention. But I do think that if teams or players just said, you know what, we don't care about stats, we're just going to win as a team, and I'm cool with, instead of playing 50 games a year, I'll still try to play 82. But instead of playing the 35 a night, play me 20 a night. Play me 20 a night. Play me half. Be able to play twice as many games for half the amount of time per game. You're a lot less likely to be hurt when you're doing consistent, maybe not as straining on your body. But yeah, obviously, the hunt for stats is greater than all in the NBA. And you're seeing everything. So yeah. Yeah, AD though. The Lakers need him on the floor in some way. They need him on the floor in some way. Whether that is, look, that can be, go on the floor and play yourself, and play, what, 15, 20 minutes. And there are close games that they're going to play that he's not going to play. That him playing 10 minutes would probably win them that game. AD is that good. But the issue is that that's never going to happen in the NBA. I really want a team to do that. I really want a team to actually just say, this is how, or a player even to say, I'm cool with my counting stats being down. I need to load manage. I need to manage because of injuries, and this is how I'm going to do it in a different way. Because the load management that the likes of Kawhi have done, the likes of Embiid has done over the years, and trying to play in as few games as possible, that has not worked long term for anybody. For anyone, that has not worked. But yeah, that is pretty much it. Do you think the Lakers have a chance this year? Look, I didn't think the Lakers had a chance of winning anyway. I think JJ Redick's a good coach. I just think it's not a very good team. People are shocked that they're 500 on the year, and I'm like, man, they were just a bit over 500 last year, and they had Anthony Davis. They had a year younger LeBron. Like, they didn't have the bronny circus. They're just not a very good basketball team. They're not a bad team, but they're a 39 to 47 win team, realistically.